We're over here at T-Mobile Rosedale, waiting on an inspector. I figured I'd do a little video of some of the fixtures for some of the new guys coming in, just an updated fixture plan. So we got a little bit of everything in this store, so I'm going to kind of go through it one by one. This is a storefront window display unit, WD1 shown on the plan. Some of them have extension poles that go up to the soffit above, and you can feed the power down. 90% of them lately have been fed out of the ground. So you see there's a plate here that lifts off. Your data, your power comes up out of the slab. We trench over to it, and then it's run up the legs and into the main area where they plug in the display screen. All of these have removable panels that just lifts up. This fixture, if you so happen to have one on your job, is also fed up through the floor. One of the big things I want to talk about are the clouds. So this right here is your welcome cloud. Again, self-explanatory why it's called a welcome cloud, but it's programmed for every location. It just greets people as they walk in, so it's always by the front door. So this is like where the concierge service would be stationed. People walking in, asking questions, where do they go? How do they get onto the, whatever information they need. It's all here. A lot of these lately have been getting power coming to them. This one does not, because some of these light up, or they have power outlets, data outlets. That's fed into the leg. And it's one of the legs. I'm not sure which one, because this one doesn't have it. But again, it would be on your plan. The biggest thing with all the fixtures in a T-Mobile, these legs inside are only about 1 inch wide. So when you run your data, you have to make sure your data, your power, and whatever other conduits you have are in line with the leg, because you don't have much room. So you gotta make sure that you strap those legs before they pour concrete back in the trench, and that they stay in line with the direction of the leg. So whether it be this way or this way for this one, very important. Now, as far as hanging these clouds, the welcome cloud has 6 threaded rods. Again, you'll see this on your plan. It's on the structural plans. Very precise. Lay it out, mark it out in blue tape, put crosses down, and laser up to these threaded rods. Because you see, all these are pre-drilled. So here's a support that comes on the cloud, which is this black piece I'm looking at, and you see the threaded rods coming down. You also see the data being wrapped around this threaded rod, and power is wrapped around that threaded rod. Because you do have power that's required for the welcome cloud to light up, as well as that's an actual piece of track that's hanging up there. And we do have a sprinkler head. Every one of these should have a sprinkler head in them if you have sprinklers in your store. So again, the fixture company will hang it. We have to run the threaded rod down. And I always tell the guys, leave the threaded rod long. It's always easier to cut it to length in the field if we have to. So I try to leave them at least like 1 foot long, hanging down from what the plans call for. And then your portals. So these are your portals. This one's a little odd because it's a double with a single upright. Most times we have them where it's just an upright, one portal cloud, or we have a duplicate on the other side of the store facing each other. Again, this one, a little weird that it's got double. These big clouds, they're individual, have 4 threaded rods each. And again, their details are on the drawings. Lay it out, laser it up. See if I can zoom in. You see the threaded rod up there. You can see it's got unistrut built into the top of this thing. So you do have adjustability this way on most of them, a little bit. But again, always try to hit those points. Lay it out and hit the points. Another big deal is wherever you do have this upright fixture, that gets anchored to the wall, and as you see, it looks like it's floating because it's got lights built into it. So you'll see there's data and power here, because this screen requires data. But a big detail for these is when you lay this thing out at the beginning of the job, wherever it be on a wall, you mark your left and your right on the floor, come across, set your laser up so that you can hang your threaded rod for the cloud. Your carpet must meet these outer perimeters. It's very important that it lines up. So again, when your flooring guys come on site, make sure they start with their carpet area first so that the visual works properly. All All right, then I want to talk about ceiling. Ceiling is always a big issue. So this one happens to have black ceiling tile, black grid, which is typical of all these Experience stores. Some of them have no grid open to deck and we just paint above. So what we try to do is, these are, and they're not set in place. These are all just rough sitting here. We have to come back and adjust them because we're doing some work in this store. But these are your baffles, all right? So they're like a styrofoam baffle. They're very lightweight. And the way they hang up there is, you see the black unistrut? They're actually notched and they just snap onto the unistrut. So this unistrut layout, whether it be right below your ceiling or hanging down, again, it all depends on the ceiling height that we can get in a store, or if you have a ceiling, that unistrut has to be exact. So what I try to tell everybody is, when they get to the point where they're going to be laying that out, they need to mark these on the floor, square them up with the store, and laser up. And again, because these baffles come pre-notched, you cannot change the location of that black unistrut. I don't think I have one on the floor here. So, oh yeah, I do. So they come in a box looking like this. And this is exactly what the notch looks like. So obviously this one's upside down. But when you take the unistrut and you push these up, they snap in here. So they'll slide left or right. And then to pull them down, you just got to kind of pull them down, and these will squeeze in. But they do come in different colors. Each box is marked. And one of the things that's in this box that still has to go up yet, there are spacers that fit literally up inside the unistrut. These baffles go 12 inches on center. So there's 12-inch spacers made out of the same foam, and you would stick them in up inside the unistrut. Then the next baffle, then a spacer, then the next baffle, spacer, so that you can't have something like this. If one moves, they're all supposed to move. And there's also in that box that has to get installed end caps that will snap into the black unistrut up there. So T-Mobile supplies the baffles as well as the black unistrut. We supply all the threaded rods, the nuts, the bolts, the washers, and the unistrut above the ceiling. So being that this black unistrut is so critical, we don't want to have to run threaded rod all the way up to the deck above, because by the time it drops down, sometimes 8, 10, 12 feet, that black unistrut moves side to side. So what we always come in and we do is we build a perpendicular unistrut system, usually every 4 to 6 feet. So above the ceiling,